We're talking to Chris Cordero, and he's going to tell us about how he spent his summer this week, his summer this year.
What year?
Summer of '98, right? You're going to tell us about what happened to your summer?
Yeah.
After you got out of school?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris, tell us.
Okay, well, I'm in, get out of school, so
Give me that.
my mom takes me, to this place, not like right after school, but she just takes me.
Is that like a therapy session?
I'm getting there, Lou. Take it easy. Lou's sitting right next to the camera, and then we got the light up there, and the light over here. Okay, so maybe a few weeks after school, my mom takes me to this place like American Day or something, and.
What kind of place is it?
Okay, she takes me there, and it's kind of like, for everybody, like heroin addicts, adolescents, all this garbage. So she takes me there, she thinks I'm like so bad, like I need so much therapy, like, okay, he needs so much help, you know. So she takes me there, I talk to the lady, they're like, okay, we'll accept your son into this program. Okay, now this is like, 9 o'clock in the morning, well, now you get up 9 o'clock at I got up like 8 o'clock in the morning, and this is during the summer, during July. Yeah, like July. And you get up I get up at like 8 o'clock. I had to get up at like 8 o'clock. The guy calls, driver, calls like 8:10, says, oh, we're on our way, whatever. And then, beeps the horn, go outside. This big black van. It looks like a hearse. And it's this big black van kind of thing. Like 3 seats in the back. It's pretty big. And I open it up, gotta bring lunch. It's like school. It's like all day. It's from like 9 o'clock to about 4 o'clock. I bring lunch, go in the van, get there, have about 10 minutes in the lunchroom, and then we start therapy. It's about like 4 other kids, and then we start doing whatever, okay? So we go into each place, talk. So this one guy, funny names, like Indian, doesn't really speak too much English. He's one of the therapists there, like, Mr. Panjwani, Dr. Panjwani. He was like Indian or whatever, native, I don't know. But, so we go in there, and she's talking to all of us, and we're telling them all why we're here. And, so we go in, this one girl's like, he's like, so why are you here, Serena, or what? Yeah, that's her name. And she's like, well, I curse a lot, really bad to my family, they all hate me. And she's like, I did it with this guy when I was 10, like a 28-year-old. So, you know, they're going along, you know. Next guy comes, I stabbed this kid, and I tried to commit suicide, and I've been in and out of hospitals and places, and I worship the devil, and he's telling all this stuff. And I'm with all these people in a room. Chairs are in like a circle, sitting around, like Dr. Panjwani over here, and we're talking, and and the next person comes, he says, see, I don't really find this funny. Louie and Jill find this hysterical, but okay, so the next guy comes. This is a guy now. He's like 6 foot, but he's 15, and he says that he got molested by some guy when he was 8, and that he's hyperactive and he takes Ritalin and all this medication. And then the funny thing is, he said that he just molested some little kid now that he's 15, and that he did that. So they come to me. I'm sitting here trying not to laugh while all these other people are going, it's not really funny, but, and all of them are like, I don't really want to tell nobody because I don't want to get laughed at. People are going to make fun of me. I don't want my parents finding out. So they come up to me, I'm just sitting there in my chair, just covering my mouth like this, just covering my mouth. So they come up to me and they're like, Christopher, why are you here? I'm like, I don't think I should be here. Like, I don't really have problems like these. And she's like, well, you gotta be here for a reason. Your mom wouldn't be paying this money. I'm like, well, I don't know what she's talking about, why she's paying this. So, they asked me, I'm like, well, I guess they put me here because, they get annoyed at me. So I'm standing up in front of like 8 people sitting around me. Everybody did this. I'm standing up. I'm like, well, sometimes in school, I knock my pencils off my desk and get up, and I get yelled at by the teacher, and that I get detention sometimes, and my mom finds me to be a pain in the ass, and they're all sitting there, and they're like looking at me like, what are you? That's the only reason why you're there. And then the lady therapist, she's like, come on, you can tell us everything. And they're like, your parents aren't going to find out. I'm like, that is everything. And then, my God, all these kids are just sitting there looking at me, like, making these faces.
I
like,
don't listen.
Yeah, they're all like, yeah, right. Yeah, I'm like, I don't listen to my parents. And I sometimes lie. And they're all just looking at me.
And they're like, that's it? That's all you
like,
do?
what are you talking about? Why would you, this costs a lot of money. Why are you here? I'm like, don't look at me. And this is like a program. 9 o'clock in the morning till 4:30. 4:30. And you can either take the bus home, not a bus, it's like this freaking huge social security van. And the funny thing is, in the morning we pick up like 8 people, go to the house, ring. This lady's got this, like, we were in the car with this lady, she was going there for some other reason. And while we're driving, this lady's like, she had, like, I guess, obsessive compulsive, I never told her any just. She had some obsessive compulsive disorder, and she's looking at the window. She's like, making sure everything's okay, that the door is locked. She's like, water's leaking through the windows. Close the windows, guys, everybody. Close the windows, it's getting cold in here. And I'm sitting in there, oh man, it was scary. And, okay, so at about 12 o'clock we have lunch, and this is the most hilarious thing. There's levels. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. Level 1 is like, you can't do anything, that's like no privileges. Then you work your way up. Level 2, like how by your behavior there, like not cursing, saying the F word. Of course, I never did, I'm thinking, why am I here? These kids are just cursing off, like, F this, why the F am I here? My parents are F'd up in the head. You mother effer, get me out of here.
Then tell us about lunch. How you had lunch?
I'm talking about lunch. And so we're having lunch. Okay, told you about the levels. This kid's on level 1. He just came here today. And this kid's not that bad. He's just pretty bad, though. And he's on level 1, he's freaking out. He didn't bring any lunch today. And he's like, candy machine, there's 3 candy machines. There's a soda machine and a candy machine and then a food machine. You can only use the soda machine on level 2. You must be on level 3 and 4 to use other accessories. Okay. So this kid's on level 1 and he's talking like, guys, I'm gonna go get candy from the candy machine. And we're like, no, don't get that. You're gonna get in trouble. He's like, beat that. And it's like censored place. Okay. And he's like, no, I'm getting it. Forget you. You're like, who gives a shit about this? I was saying this. And he's like, yeah, I don't care. They can kick me out, do whatever. I'm gonna cause trouble, so I do kick that. I don't need to be here. And so he walks up in the candy machine, and then he stops. He's like thinking to himself. He's like, should I get the candy?
Did he get?
No. No, he didn't get the candy because one of the people walked in, one of the therapists.
And what about the girl, the skinny girl?
Oh yeah, okay, I'm getting there. And we all have lunch together. Everybody, the heroin addicts, the adolescents. The sex fanatics,
Lesbians.
Yeah, lesbians, who's ever gone there for some problem. And we're sitting there and we're listening to people talk. Well, I am. This one lady, ever since I quit heroin, I've looking for something. I've had a major hunger and I'm eating food And now that I'm addicted to food. Now, initially it looks like Jill, like a twig. But last thing Jill, she's like a pole, you know. And I'm just laughing, you know. She's pale as like my socks right here. And I'm just laughing. She's looking at me. I'm like, look at that kid over there. He's funny. And what's it called? So, and then this other lady's like, I have obsessive compulsive disorder. I always gotta check the windows, make sure they're locked, check the door, check the steering wheel, make sure it's not off. I gotta check my feet, make sure they're still there. I always worry if I'm gonna get, oh man, like this is funny stuff.
But then they finally realized that you didn't belong there.
Yeah. So I'm like telling my mom, get me out of here. This is like crazy. My mom doesn't believe me. She's like, Chris, shut up, get out of here. You're lying to me. I'm like, no, they're talking about. So she goes in and they tell her that everybody's got the same problems and that just different kind of. They're all adolescent, but in different ways. Like some kill people.
Some commit suicide.
Yeah, this and that. And I'm sitting there, you know, some done this, some done that, some done, okay. And, you know, so they finally decide that I didn't need this, which I didn't all along. And I'm just, you know, laughing. I'm like, thank God. You know, and man, woke up 10 o'clock every day. And
After you didn't have to go, you slept late?
yeah, they're all like, that's no fair. You can get over here before I kick your ass. They're like, you're not leaving, that's no fair. I'm like walking out, they're like, get over here, you're not going nowhere. They're all like chasing me out.
Alright. And that was your summer for 1998.
Not the whole summer, just like 3 weeks.
Okay.
My fun summer. Well, Marvin and Nancy, hope you like Jill and Louie find themselves to be,
Very funny.
yes, very funny over here. So,
Okay, that's it. Stopped it.
That's cut it.
What a fun ending.
do we want to watch it? Let's get some food, man.
Yeah, let's stop it.
I'm gonna go check on the computer. Come on, Lou.
That could be your audition tape for a movie.